Hello everybody, Cooper here, and welcome to another episode of my AFL 26 Management Career Mode here with Port Adelaide. I hope you're all doing very well. Hope you've had a lovely weekend. My weekend was pretty solid. Mother's Day was excellent. Time to get into some footy. Now, as per usual, we're going to have a bit of pre-game waffle before we get into our opening games of today. I did say at the end of the last episode that today would be a doubleheader between our game against St Kilda in the AFL and our season opener against for Port against Glenelg. Slight change of plans, mainly because I didn't check the calendar beforehand. We've got Glenelg as anticipated, which is fine, but then before the St Kilda game, we've actually got Sturt on Saturday. So that is going to be a little bit of a problem because I don't plan on doing 3 games in one video. So what this is going to be instead, and this is going to be basically a bit of a blueprint for the coming episodes that we'll have, is we're going to do the SANFL doubleheader. So we're going to have the Glenelg game and the Sturt game today. Hope that's all right. And then we've got St Kilda will be a standalone game, and then Hawthorn will be a standalone game as the following 2 episodes. And then the episodes after that we'll do, as you can see here, the South Adelaide and Swans doubleheader, and then the Central Districts and North Melbourne doubleheader. I've also started to take a bit of a look at our future plans with the AFLW list. I've given contracts to basically those players who are either very, very young or very, very good. So the likes, and I'm not going to pretend I know a great deal about the AFLW list. Piper Window, is it Window? I have to read sideways. Piper Window appears to have very good potential. We signed her up to a 3-year deal, which is the longest that we can offer. So I've given basically 3 to 2-year deals to those who I think have a bit of potential or those who are very, very good. I think we've got Abby Dowdrick here, same kind of deal. She's been given one of our marquee spots. I think we only have 2 or 3 of these $100,000 contracts. She's apparently very, very good. We've also got Molly Brooksby here. She's in that tier below. So there's basically 2 tiers of either 100,000, 90,000, or just under 80,000. And then we've got a whole bunch of expirings at the end of this year. We've also got Shania Goody here, who got that 2nd tier spot. We've got Ella Bogue, who again, 2nd tier spot. We've got Alexandra Ballard, who is the sister of Charlie Ballard, who's on our recruitment list for next off-season, I should say. Emily Borg? I don't know if there's a relation. Actually, that's Bogue, not Borg. Never mind. I thought they were related. They're not related. Excuse me. And then we've got, I believe this is Matilda Schultz. Awfully good player, 92 rated. She looks to be a superstar. So at this point in time, I believe for next AFLW season, we've got 8 players on the books at just over $700,000 for the season. We've got $2.3 million to spend. So we've obviously still got a bit of time to either sign up some more players that I could potentially be interested in, ones that perform over the course of the season, as well as any new draftees. But we've also got to have a look at the team selection for our upcoming SANFL fixtures. And I've put together a squad of mainly AFL reserve talent, I should say. So the likes of Lockie Jones, who is a really good young player for Port Adelaide. In real life, he's actually doing very well. He's played, 50 odd games for them. He's going to be starting in a back pocket. And there's also Kyle Marshall, who is just a SANFL player who is listed. He's going to be playing at fullback. Dylan Williams, Jez McLennan, Radagalea, Logan Evans, Hugh Jackson, who I think may have been the sub in our round 1 game. Christian Moraes, who was a draft pick this year. Will Lawrence, Jack Watkins, who I believe is an SANFL player. Rory Atkins just came across from the Gold Coast, also used to play for Adelaide. Big Ivan, we're going to have a look at Ivan Soldo today. Hugh Ferrari, Jed McKenty, Lockie Charlson, Mac Bowman, Todd Marshall is going to be the captain today. And we're going to give Willie Rioli a chance. Obviously, there's a bit going on with him in real life, but I think the SANFL is going to be a good spot for him to show a bit of his class and see whether or not we can bring him back into the fold as the season goes on. On the bench, we've also got Xavier Charles, Ollie Cheeseman, Ollie Lord, and Rome Burgoyne, who I believe is a relative of Jace Burgoyne. It's actually an evening game up against Glenelg today, and I believe Glenelg won the SANFL Premiership last year, so it is going to be a very tough fixture today. We're still going to play the 10 minutes, but I dare say the SANFL games, in terms of the gameplay that I will be showing, will be a lot more condensed. It's going to be a lot shorter, so we can pack 2 games into maybe just over an hour's worth of video time for you guys to watch. Obviously, the recording will be a lot longer, so it's going to be less of a game to see. Hopefully, you don't mind. If you still want the SANFL games to be a longer, sort of more standalone video, let me know in the comments. But without further ado, let's get underway. Bit of rain here at Alberton today, and a bit of wind as well, 14 kilometers worth of wind. Not something that we've really encountered in our AFL games so far this year. And out come Glenelg in their Clash Guernsey. I thought the black and yellow sort of sash would have been a little bit of an issue, so I decided to go with the Clash Guernseys for today. Hopefully it's not going to be too big of a concern. But here we go. The Port Magpies, as they are known in the SANFL. So we have a little bit of a different song today. Hope that's all good. But I'm very much excited to see what our reserves can provide in today's contest. Glenelg have called heads on the toss. And they've won the toss. How the wind... Oh, there's a little bit of wind going to the left of screen. Towards that left wing there. So they've gone to kick to the left. Let's get this game underway. We've got Big Ivan in the middle there. Let's see if we can win out of the middle. We do. We get the hit out at least, but we turn it over in the middle of the ground. Running forward. We can't get the mark. Or we can't get the tackle, excuse me. Great spoil from behind by Evans, but we can't pick it up. But Lockie Jones in that back pocket. He is a utility, so we may sort of rotate him through the middle of the ground. Can't take the mark in that contest. Handball forward. Let's just get boot to ball, kick it long. We got a bit of a bit of a contest there. Well, what am I trying to say? A bit of a mismatch in the contest there. Radigalea at centre half back. Very, very good. Obviously came over from Geelong many years ago. And a nice mark. No, not quite here at centre half forward. Obviously, the names of the players is going to take a little bit of time to get used to. Come on, let's lay a tackle here. Well done, Moraes. Great to see from a young player. Great start by Willie Rioli. Great strong mark. Heading towards half forward. Bowman can't take the mark. Unfortunately, it's Gerloff for Glenelg. Almost 5 minutes gone by in this opening quarter. Not a lot has happened. Great fly by the Glenelg player. Rory Atkins kicks towards full forward. And Willie Rioli, of all players, going to take the opening mark inside forward 50 now. Obviously is a bit of wind, so we're going to set it up nice and wide. Willie Rioli gets the first for us in the SANFL campaign. Going deep inside our forward 50 now. Todd Marshall, yet to feature at AFL level today, or in this season, I should say. But obviously a very experienced player, getting up there in years now. Setting it nice and wide, probably a little bit too close to be setting it that wide for a set shot. Now going to have a look at this Christian Moraes set shot. That's not bad. Offline, unfortunately. Jack Watkins lining up for a set shot. We've missed our last 2. We've got the next one. Well done, Jack Watkins. Port Adelaide dominating early. Another forward entry for Port Adelaide. Todd Marshall lining up for this one. Does a very good job taking that contested mark. Did miss a set shot earlier. But this is going to be right in the wheelhouse of setting it up nice and wide. Letting it swing back with the wind. That's not bad. He's done well. Oh, no, he hasn't done well. I got excited there. Todd Marshall going to have a 3rd crack on goal today. He's already missed his first 2. And I think he's missed this one as well. Yep, that is really poor. He has got a case of the Jack Lacociouses today. Glenelg just working it out of fullback now. Really struggling just in general. They're just really, really struggling. Obviously, we're not entirely an AFL quality side, but somewhere in between, as Ivan Soldo takes a really nice mark in the middle of the ground. Try and take this mark here in half forward. No, we don't. Ball going wide to Bailey. Hugh Jackson stands the mark. Kick short. Oh, it doesn't go very far. Only finds Christian Moraes. Our draft pick from this past year. Shocking kick forward. Ends up back with Moraes. A little bit deeper this time around. Looking for Soldo. Big fly from, I think, their opposition ruckman. Soldo can't lay a tackle. Glenelg starting to build up a bit of play now. They've got two players in the middle of the ground. They finally go to one of them. It's Partington. Wearing that number 10 jersey. Kicking forward now. Ball goes to ground. Radaglia just panicked a little bit. Great tackle. Ball was kicked forward by Glenelg. Only goes as far as Ferrari. Willie Rioli is in the area. Oh, it's not good enough. Moraes another intercept mark. Todd Marshall's on the lead. Can we push forward? Atkins is trying. Kick it forward, son. Marshall's down there. Takes another mark. And surely, after 3 behinds in the first quarter, he can kick a first goal. That would be fantastic. He's finally done it. 28-point lead. Nice and early. Doing very, very well right now. Can we take the mark? No, we can't at half forward. Ball goes forward for Glenelg. Radaglia, too big and strong for Walker. Let's kick down the line. Probably not as far as I wanted it to go. Bailey takes a nice mark at centre-half back. That is an awful kick, though. Hugh Jackson getting a bit of the ball early. Willie Rioli going to be right on the 50-metre line when he goes to take this mark. Great tackle. Excellent forward pressure. Has really been a highlight of our game so far today against Glenelg. Walker again has the ball middle of the ground. Radaglia intercepts. Todd Marshall running from centre-half forward. Great hands over the top. Can't find a Port Adelaide jumper, though. Back in the hands of Partington. Just stopped running. Not sure what that was about. We've got a bit of space here. Radaglia just gets rid of it very quickly. Great tackle. We need to lay 40 tackles today, which I don't think is going to happen. Because honestly, we've been dominating possession. But that is a great tackle. That's holding the ball. Well done, McLennan. Looking for Rioli once again up the line. Does a good job. Contested mark. There's a forward. It's Ollie Lord. Can't take the mark. Handball forward. He gets chased down, unfortunately. No free kick. Glenelg do well to clear it. And there is the quarter time siren. Not a very competitive game so far. Glenelg have been really, really poor, you have to say. 4 goals to nothing so far. Actually not really killing disposals. Getting a lot more kicks than handballs for both teams, actually. Inside 50s, you have to say, is to the advantage of Port Adelaide. Rebound 50s is just as equal as there. Inside 50s, which is always good to see. Hitouts, there hasn't really been an opportunity to get that many hitouts. But a very interesting game. Todd Marshall, 1 goal, 3 so far. Just continuing to show that our set shots are a work in progress. Willie Rioli, Bowman, Watkins all have goals to their name. Wisdom and Moraes, as well as Adams for Glenelg, leading the major ball getters. First inside 50 for a while for Glenelg. Radaglia with a great spoil. Little panicked handball. Can't lay a tackle. Glenelg are finally on the scoreboard with a major. And we reply very quickly with an inside 50 of our own. And Lord takes a very nice mark. In terms of where we're going to set this up, because obviously the wind is pushing to the right, I'm thinking just on the inside of the left goalpost. I'm hoping that it'll swing back very nicely, and that is just not the case on this kick. Willie Rioli going to have a crack from around the body in this kick. Hopefully it'll swing back, go in. He's done well. He's got a second goal for his troubles. Ball with Christian Moraes at half forward. Let's push nice and deep into our forward 50. Can't take the mark. Ball out the back. Rioli running into an open goal. He's got a third. Rioli again at centre half forward. Let's go put it on Ollie Lord's head. If he can take a mark in the goal square, which he's done. Really nice work by Willie Rioli. Set up that goal. And this should be a fairly straightforward kick. Lord lining up for his first. He slots it through. Ball went out of the middle once again by Port Adelaide. Ball finds Charleston nice and short. Rioli's on the move, but we go a little bit deeper than that towards Lawrence. And he takes a nice mark. Left footer, we have to keep that in mind. And I have panicked really, really early with this kick. That is a shocker. And an awful, awful kick out of full back. Ends up in the hands of Willie Rioli once again. I think if we just kick this just inside that left goal post, we'll be okay. It's actually hit the top of the goal post. Glenelg have just not been able to exit their forward half for quite a while now. Rioli on the move. Trying to take a mark. Can't on this occasion. He has been one of our best players today. Obviously, he's playing at a grade well below his. But he's probably not quite ready for the AFL level just yet. Just with everything that's been going on. Need to work himself into a bit of form. As Glenelg try and work his way out of their defensive half once again. Todd Marshall in the contest. Can't take the mark. Running into an open goal. Gets chased down. Willie Rioli with a great tackle. Take a mark. Yes, we do. Great job, Willie Rioli, with that forward pressure. Lining up for goal number 4. Offline once again, unfortunately. Jed McKenty lining up to get another goal for Port Adelaide. We finally get one after a couple of behinds in a row. Extends it out to a 49-point lead. Glenelg finally get an inside 50. They can only go as far as Radigalia though. He has been so good today. Clears it out to the right of screen. Looking for McLennan. Ball goes to ground. Let's just get it down the line. Looking for Watkins. Hasn't seen a lot of it today. Just pushes Gerloff to the side. Waiting for a forward to go nice and deep. Lord once again. Does a very nice job with the contested mark. Already has 1 goal to his name today. Lining up for a second. And to get this beyond a 50-point lead. Does very well. Stoppage at centre half forward right now. Walsh in the ruck for Port Adelaide. Can't get a mark, unfortunately, or even a hit out, to be honest. And Walker has it in the middle of the ground. Just very surprised that wasn't a 50-metre penalty. There was a lot of players running around where the kicker was. Watkins down the line. Can't take the mark. Let's just get the handball forward. Inside 50, please. Can't get boot to ball. Finally do. Finds Todd Marshall once again. And his kicking hasn't been great, as we know today. I think he's got 1 goal, 3 to his name. But there's a 10-goal lead for Port Adelaide. Not even, or actually quite close to halftime, I should say. Radigalia takes a nice mark at centre half back. Does very nicely. Hits up Xavier Walsh, I believe his name is, if I'm not mistaken. Not a good kick. Let's just get the ball forward. Thank you. Sort of a blind snap forward. Ends up with Lockie Jones. Actually works out quite well. Kick forward. Looking for Todd Marshall. Once again, just absolutely clunks it. Maybe getting an AFL call-up next episode. We'll see how he goes in the second game against Sturt. But looking for another goal to his cause. Straight through the middle. Lawrence on the wing now. Trying to kick forward. Looking for Ollie Lord at centre half forward. Not trying to rhyme on purpose. But we couldn't even take a mark, unfortunately. Ends up with Stevens. Kick short. Xavier Walsh does a very good job. Marshall's on the move. But we're heading towards half forward instead. And it ends up with Charlson. Right footer. Yet to kick a goal today, it seems. Hopefully we can change that with this kick. Not going to be the case, unfortunately. Ball goes deep to full forward. Looking for Marshall once again. I don't even know who had the ball there. But it's ended up in a goal. I think it might have been Lord, actually. Yes, it is. 74-point lead. Almost halftime, you'd have to imagine. Ball gets loose. Just knock it forward, Lawrence. Can we take a mark here on the siren? No, we don't. But what a first half. 8 goals, 4-1 in that quarter. Glenelg really, really struggling, dominating possession that quarter. Todd Marshall, 3 goals, 3 for his trouble. Rioli, 3. Lord, 3. McKenty, Bowman, and Watkins all have goals for Port Adelaide. Wisdom and Lions leading the way with 14 and 13 disposals, respectively, for Richmond, Glenelg. Radigalia, 13 disposals leading the way for Port Adelaide. I'm assuming just all of that is just intercept marks at centre half back. He's playing very well. Rory Atkins, Rioli, Moraes, and Jones also getting a lot of the ball. I'm going to breeze through this second half a little bit quicker than the first so we can get to that Sturt game, which I'm guessing may be a little bit more competitive. I'm not sure. Obviously, we still got to get used to using this sort of reserve team that we do have against lesser opposition. So we'll see how we go. Ivan Soldo's back in the middle now. Let's get the ball forward. Looking for Todd Marshall. If we can take a mark here, we do very nicely to get the quarter going. Lining up for number 4. Obviously didn't have his best kicking half in the first half, but if we can get started here with a goal, well done by the skipper. Glenelg pushing forward now, and they finally take a mark inside 50. I don't think they've got one yet today. Liam Wisden's going to have a crack at it. 14 disposals in the first half. Finally gets a goal for Glenelg. Glenelg going deep inside forward 50, and it's another mark to McCarthy. I don't know where this Glenelg has come from, where they were in the first half, but they're lining up for the second in the quarter. Back down to a 68-point margin. And a great mark by Watkins at half forward. Let's kick it short. Looking for Charlson. Did not provide a contest whatsoever in that one. Only went as far as Parnell. Not a great kick out of half forward, or half back I should say, for Glenelg. Soldo's just going to kick deep into the Rioli direction. And he takes a nice contested mark. Slots it straight through the middle. Working the ball nicely up the wing right now. Going deep towards full forward. Marshall is down there. Takes a nice mark. Now the wind shouldn't be a problem, you would think, but crazier things have happened. Looking for another goal. Sneaks it in. I believe that's 5 for Marshall. Rioli for number 5. Slots it. Yes, he does. It's been goal for goal so far in these last couple of minutes, but Marshall lining up for number 6. He has been exceptional today, especially with his goal kicking in this second half. We push forward once again. Will Lawrence having a look inside 50, looking in the Rioli direction. Can't take the mark. McBean does a fantastic job at centre half back. Now weighing up his options. That is a dangerous kick. Trying to kick forward. And it's not going to be a goal, unfortunately. McBean has it once again in the back pocket. Kick short. Finds Stevens. Ollie Lord standing the mark, doing a very nice job today. Not sure about the kick. Is this going to be a free kick? No, it's going to be a ball up. Just inside 50, 16 minutes gone in the fourth. Oh, sorry, in the third, I should say. Not going to be a mark. That one's going to be a mark. It's Christian Moraes once again. Just the 10 disposals today. That's an awful kick. Oh, that's a proper stinker, that. Rioli on the move. Great sort of lowering of the eyes by Soldo. And Rioli, this may even be enough for an AFL recall, depending on how his behaviour is. It's offline, unfortunately. I thought he may have snuck that in just based on how he was celebrating. Not going to be the case, and it's a 97? No, 90... I can't do maths, apparently. Yes, 93-point lead. Almost 20 minutes gone now. Glenelg just working it up the line. Partington hasn't seen a lot of it today. And that's just poor possession, unfortunately, by Glenelg. Not something they've been great at today. Down the line once again, looking for another mark. And Jackson, unfortunately for us, gets it straight back. Kicks it centrally. Can't take a mark. Todd Marshall pushing up the ground. Gets the mark in the middle of the ground. Does well. Soldo, centre half forward. Let's send it deep. Who's down there? It's Charlson and Proud. Great body work. And for a 99-point lead, if we slot this through, which you think we would from this range, oh my lord. Glenelg going straight out of fullback by playing on. Always a risky strategy. Great mark by Watkins. Rioli's on the move. Not going to go in that direction. Going to go a little deeper towards Marshall. He's been so good today. And this, actually it's a 94-point lead, excuse me. For the 100-point lead and goal number 7. A fourth for the quarter. What a quarter, just of football in general, I should say. Glenelg are not done yet in this quarter, however. They pushing forward, going for a mark. Let's try and clear it. We do well. Jackson can't take the mark. All right, let's see where we go. We go down the line. Rioli can't take the mark, unfortunately. Well done. And what a quarter of football. 100-point lead at three-quarter time. I'm just going to skip forward to full time here. There's no need to show the final quarter. We've got another game we need to get to. And that'll do it. That will do it. A dominant victory by Port Adelaide in this one. Over 100 points in the end. Just 107 points in the end. Pretty even last quarter, to be honest. 4 goals to 3. Very, very interesting game. Who are the leading score getters in the end? Todd Marshall kicked 7 in the end. Willie Rioli with 6. Ollie Lord with 5. Is it Liam Jones, I think it is? No. Lockie Jones with 2. Watkins, Bowman, and McKenty all with 1. McCarthy kicked 3 for Glenelg. Wisdom with 2. Allen and Partington with 1 apiece. Atkins, Jones, and Radigalea led the way with the disposals. Very, very good game. 18 intercept marks by Radigalea. Could be due for a AFL recall. And in terms of the objectives, we got one of them, which was the 110 contested possessions. We didn't lay 40 tackles, and there was no way in hell we were going to get the 220 handballs. So just the the $2,500 bonus for this round. But fortunately for us, we have a second episode, a second game which we're going to be playing. So we're going to get a bit more money, if I can get my words out, in today's episode to get that dollar figure, hopefully in and around the $1,900,000 mark. Hopefully by season's end, that would be nice. And the best thing about that round, no injuries. It was absolutely beautiful. We did not get a single injury throughout that game. The objectives for this game is absolutely outrageous up against Sturt. 625 disposals, not a chance in hell. 350 just kicks in general. We struggled to get 250 disposals, so 350 kicks is a bit of an outrage. 14 free kicks may be on the cards, but I'm not going to hold my breath about it. While we are here, we do need to select the lineup for this week's game, next week's game, I should say, up against St Kilda. We've still got a few injuries. Jackson Mead, however, is back, which is very handy. He can come in for Jace Burgoyne. Is there anybody from the SANFL that deserves a call-up that really played in the midfield? Lockie Jones would probably be the one, I would say. We can stick him on a wing. Unfortunately, he's going to come out of our SANFL squad. He's going to be making his season debut for the seniors up against St Kilda. And in between squad selections, I've actually found out that Travis Boak is also back for us in general. So I don't know if we have to take out guys that were selected for the AFL team. I'm assuming that we do. I can't see who's been brought in for the likes that have been brought in for the AFL team. So I'm just going to put, I think McLennan, Wiedemann didn't play. I know that for a fact. We'll put Lorenz in the back pocket for now. Travis Boak can play. We need to get Travis Boak in the guts proper. I think that is reasonable. He can play ruck rover. That's fine. Rory Atkins can be rover. Morea's played really well in his first game for the club, and that is all good. Is there anything else that I need to do here? I don't believe so. There's nobody else I don't recognize, so we should be good to go. We'll give Travis Boak the captaincy, obviously. He is a club legend after all. And here we are. We're actually playing at Alberton today, but for whatever reason, Unley Oval is not in the game. So even though it's a Sturt home game, we are playing at Alberton, so don't worry about the confusion around that. But here we come. Second game of the episode. Very keen. We've got a few new faces, obviously Travis Boak being one of them, coming back from injury. And obviously we've sent a few players off to the first team. But out come my local club that I played for back in the day. This is going to be a very interesting game for me. Obviously conflicted because Sturt, I have a big place in my heart for Sturt. But hopefully, in terms of a Port Adelaide perspective, we can do okay. We've called heads on the toss. It appears to be a nice day. Not too windy compared to the previous game. We're going to kick to the left of screen. And here we go. Second game underway. Round 2 versus Sturt. Travis Boak. First one out the middle. Carey takes a nice mark at halfback. Kicks to Anderson. Does very nicely at halfback as well. Radigalea pushing forward. Did so well in the last game. Takes a mark up on the wing. Willie Rioli is there at half forward. Trying to take a mark on Grivell. Does very, very well. Could have a crack from here. Going to kick towards the forward pocket. And Todd Marshall just gets absolutely wrecked by Ferez. But Ferrari takes a nice mark at half forward. Rioli's on the move. We see him. God, just gets wrapped up a little bit too easily for my liking. Handball over the top to Boak. To Rioli. Inside. Kick the ball, son. All you had to do was kick the ball. But fortunately, the ball does not go too far. Hugh Jackson is going to have a crack at the goals from just inside 50. It's not going to be a goal. It's a mark to Ivan Soldo. I probably shouldn't have gone to kick a goal. We're going to have to go from around the corner here. I don't know how this is going to work. Let's just try our best. Hopefully this all works out okay. He's hit the post, I think, in the end. We get the first score on the board, which is always nice to see. Horrible kick out of full back. And it's in the hands of the skipper for today, the former skipper of the AFL side, and record games holder, Travis Boak. I bigged him up and he's missed it from almost directly in front. Not a good start. Sturt doing very nicely, just working the ball up the middle of the ground now, out of full back. Ollie Grivell has the ball in the middle of the ground. Played a lot of footy with Ollie Grivell over the years, but also a lot of basketball as well. We played a lot of district basketball together. Can't take the mark at full forward. I'm getting distracted by all my former teammates, and Sturt get the first. 7 minutes in, we are yet to kick a goal. Boak gets it forward. We get a free kick. 10 minutes, not 10 minutes. 10 free kicks needed. I thought it was 14, but apparently it's 10. Todd Marshall lining up. Kick 7 last week. This may be a stinker. We are prone to stinkers. Swinging back, it's no good. I'm not sure who that kick was to out of full back. He kicked it straight to Todd Marshall. There was nobody in sight. We'll take it for our troubles. Lining up for hopefully the first goal of the game. Todd Marshall, he's missed it again. Both teams struggling right now. Just to get, lots of scores on the board. We're almost 9 minutes in. We've only seen one goal. Port Adelaide doing very well to keep it in their forward half. We kick it short. There's Rioli. And he played very well last week. 3 disposals on the game so far. You'd think this would be a goal, but I have absolutely stuffed that up once again. 5 straight behinds to start the game for Port Adelaide. This is a masterclass in suckiness right now. Boat goes wide to Watkins. We're pushing forward. Long kick. Looking for Marshall. We've played so well last week. McKenty does a good job. Out of full back. Short little kick. Finds Ferrari. Rioli on the move once again. Drops it short. Not a good kick. Let's just get it forward. Wrapped up. Coombs. We won a couple of premierships with Will Coombs. I don't know why I'm talking in the third person. I say, we did this, we did that, Will Coombs and I. Well, it wasn't just the two of us, it was the mighty Unley Jets back in the day. I obviously played at Sturt as well. Put it on the head of Charleston, who just sits there, does nothing. Grivell drops it. Marshall can't get it forward. Watkins takes a nice mark. I'd like to get a goal before quarter time. That is my new goal in life. Rioli running to the contest. Can't take the mark. Ball goes forward. Soldo. Actually, it wasn't Soldo. Doesn't work out in the end anyway. Sturt pushing forward once again. They've got plenty of players around the contest. I don't know where our guys are. We are playing absolutely horribly compared to our previous game up against Glenelg. And I think Glenelg are the reigning premiers as well. So I don't know what that is about. So we'll see how it goes. That is a brilliant tackle by Dan Scholl. We finally take a mark inside our forward half. Hopefully we can get to the contest. Well done, Todd Marshall. And for the love of God, please kick this ball through the goals. It's looking like this is going to be the one. Come on, you can do it. Straight through the middle. We finally get a goal. We win it out of the middle, doing very nicely. Get boot to ball once again. Looking for Todd Marshall. It's a 2-on-1. And he wins out once again. Gonna have another crack on goal. Like there's so many he's had today already. I think he's 1 goal 3 at this point. That's pretty good. Marshall 2, Sturt 1. Looking for Marshall once again. He's got the height advantage on his opponent and takes another contested mark for a third first quarter goal. Didn't kick particularly straight last week and he hasn't kicked straight so far. And he's just snuck that in. It looked like it may have been going over the post, but Marshall's got 3 in the first quarter. Soldo been rucking solo right now. He's been pretty good so far. Can we get the ball forward, get it wide? And unfortunately, the siren has beaten us. But a very competitive first quarter by both teams, you'd have to say. 23-6 so far. Port Adelaide in the lead. I'm very happy with how we've been going. Free kicks are pretty even. We're dominating in the ruck, which is great. Todd Marshall, 3 goals, 2. I thought he'd kick 3 behinds, pardon me. Travis Boak, 9 disposals. Grivell, Teal, and Anderson all have 6 for Sturt. Rioli, not doing too bad either. First hit out of the second quarter, won by Port Adelaide. Trying to get the ball clear. Don't get it too far, unfortunately. Great tackle in the middle of the ground. Let's just get it forward. Can't get it forward, unfortunately. Radigalea, nice mark at centre half-back. Does very nicely. Kick the ball forward. Great fly. I didn't see who that was. There's a couple of auto-generated players because all the auto-generated players are bald. I suppose they just don't have the licensing for the likeness, I guess. Edmonds takes a very nice mark at centre half forward. Kicking forward once again. Can only get as far as Marias, who we haven't seen a lot of today. Ball was dropped in the middle of the ground. Kicking forward for Sturt once again. Williams at centre half back does a good job. Bowman looking for Rioli. Takes a nice mark inside forward 50. Yet to kick a goal for today, Rioli, excuse me. Had a big bag last week. I think he kicked 6 in the end. And there's his first on the day. It extends the lead to 23 points. Ball now deep into full forward once again. And Todd Marshall really standing up. Has 3 goals today. And if he can kick this, he will owe Radigalea probably a case of lager. Hopefully he can get this through. And he does very, very well. Lead out to 29 now. Hopefully it's not going to be as one-sided as the Glenelg game. I'm hoping that won't be the case. Can't take the mark at full forward. Actually, it's centre half forward. Excuse me. Sturt have it at half back. Great tackle. I didn't play on. Oh, I hate that advantage. I really do. Ball with Moraes at centre half forward. Let's get it deep. Looking for Rioli. Excellent body work. Lining up for a second has been so good in the SANFL. Knocks it through. 35-point lead. Boundary throw in just outside Sturt's forward 50. This would be a dangerous time to concede a goal, or just a dangerous spot to concede a goal in general. Sturt win it out of the stoppage. Radigalea trying to get hand to ball, doesn't. Sturt looking for a mark at full forward, and Rory Ullman, nicknamed Flash because he is a fast boy, yet to get a disposal in this one. Slots it through for the Double Blues. They get one back. Inside 50. Turnover by Sturt in a crucial position. Going to end up with Charlson. Lining up for his first on the day. Just the 3 disposals to his name. Does well. Extends the lead back out to 35 for Port Adelaide. Ball with Rory Atkins. Looking short. Somebody take a mark. We do. It's Christian Moraes once again. Let's just kick it long. Oh, that's not bad. That is very, very good. I wasn't lining up for goal, but we'll take it. Rioli not far. We'll just be on 50, but I think this is barrel territory. I'm glad I did because it's the end of the quarter and it's out of bounds on the full, so that is quite funny. Unfortunately for us, but a really good first half. 8 goals to 2 in the first half. I think that was 5 goals to 1 in the second quarter. Very, very nice. Match stats, we are all over the place, just all over Sturt right now. Hitouts, we're doing well in the ruck. Contested possessions, they've got more of the ball uncontested, which isn't too surprising. But we are just all over them, doing a very good job right now. Marshall has 4 in the first half. Rioli has 2 for his troubles. Charlson and Moraes both have 1. Rory Atkins has 15 disposals, playing very well. Radigalia once again. Travis Boak getting back in some good form, which we like to see. See if we can call him back for the game after the St Kilda game. Rioli and Moraes each have 10 as well. Here we go, second half underway. Sturt, hopefully they can be a bit more competitive. Show them, or show us and the rest of the SANFL that they could be a decent side this year. Obviously, our game plan is more just to develop some of our young guys and get those guys that aren't necessarily in our first team to be in a bit better form. Todd Marshall showing he's probably a little bit too good for the SANFL at this point in time. Very, very strong mark, especially contested mark at this level. Lining up for goal number 4. I don't think that's any good. Just offline, unfortunately. Willie Rioli now in the forward pocket. You'd think out of anybody in this team, he'd be able to kick it. And yes, he does. What a start to the quarter for Port Adelaide. Going out of the middle once again, Moraes looking for Marshall. Trying to take that mark. He does it again. Looking for number 5. And I think number 12 of the season in total has been really, really good. Oh, hits the top of the post. Oh my lord. I don't understand how we kick that goal from the pocket and then miss those 2 goals from like directly in front. Really makes no sense, but never mind. We get the mark at centre half back, centre half forward via Ferrari. Rioli's on a lead. Kicks a little short, unfortunately. That was also terrible. Great tackle, great forward pressure. We get the ball back, fortunately. Moraes, take your time, look for a lead. Marshall's on the move. We go a bit shorter to Soldo. We don't usually take too many shots on goal with. I don't think traditionally he's a big goal kicker. Hopefully he can kick this one. He spent a lot of the second quarter not in the ruck. That's not bad. He's done very well with that kick. 2 goals in the quarter to Port Adelaide. Sturt pushing forward now. Great mark from behind by McLennan. Not too bad at all. Kicking down the line, looking for Watkins. Does very nicely. Now we've got... Who's that at centre half forward all by himself? It's Bowman. In best position to take the mark. Doesn't. Scholl gets back just in the nick of time. But turns the ball over again at half forward, which is possibly the worst place you can turn the ball over at. And that kick was absolutely putrid. Sturt working the ball upfield. And Coombs takes a very strong mark at centre half forward. Kicks deep. Nobody home for us, and ends up with Daniel Faye Sparks, who's going to line up for just his 3rd disposal of the day. He's a big boy, going to go around the corner. Does well. Sturt have a 3rd. Great tackle in the middle there by Christian Moraes. Handball inside, can't get it there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's get it forward. Moraes does well once again. Marshall takes a great pack mark. Number 5, hopefully coming up with not a terrible kick. That's offline, just over the post again. Even 50-point lead to Port Adelaide, showing a very good start to the season. Ball is dropped by Sturt, wrapped up. Ferrari is, and we're going to have a ball up just outside our forward 50. We need to be doing a lot better in front of goal if we're going to be a chance against, I mean, not just these opposition in the SANFL, but also the AFL and the AFLW. Hugh Jackson pushing forward, trying to get it down towards Bowman. Can't take the mark. Sturt, knock it forward, finds Anderson. Kicks down the line. Radigalia is there and waiting, but Daniel Faye Sparks, the goal kicker from not that long ago, does very well. Kicks the ball inside, finds Emmett. Sturt have a bit of time on their hands. And Anderson pushing back down the ground once again. Going to be lining up for his first of the day. And to get it back under 50, he's also getting a lot of the ball today. That is a short kick. But it works out in the end, and Sturt doing very nicely, just staying within grasp of not total humiliation, obviously. I don't think they're going to win this one, but they're not doing absolutely terribly compared to, say, Glenelg. Great tackle at half forward. Didn't see who it was. It was Moraes. Of course it was. Saldo. That's an awful, awful kick. Doesn't result in a mark, unfortunately. I think that might have been Boak that tried to get back. Emmett now has it at half forward. Kicking a little too deep. Marshall takes it in the goal square. And you'd think he'd kick this. Hopefully he does. It'd be embarrassing if he doesn't. Slots it through. He has 5. And the 50-point lead is restored. Well, one out of the middle by Soldo. Boak kicks it short, looking for Rioli. Plays on. I didn't think that was going to be a mark. Quick kick forward. Doesn't find anybody. Actually, it finds Ferrari. Rioli trying to pick it up. Moraes kicks it short. Finds Bowman. Does very, very nicely. Lining up for his first of the day. 56-point lead. Port Adelaide are going to start 2-0 on the season, you'd think, from here. We've put Travis Boak at full forward just for a little bit to see what he can conjure up. He's sort of that big-bodied midfielder that's been so good for so long. We'll let Ollie Lord have a shot from here. Hasn't really touched the ball today. Ball's really just been going over his head to Marshall. But if he can kick a goal from this distance, get the lead over 10 goals, that would be great. It's offline, but it's swinging back. Not far enough, unfortunately. Radigalea kicks it towards Rioli. Takes a nice mark. 24 minutes gone in the third. Can't be long left in this quarter. Rioli lining up for a fourth. Not bad. Siren goes. Very, very nice. And it is a big, big lead here at Alberton. 63 points is the margin. And 5 goals to 2 in that quarter. Much more competitive from Sturt, you'd have to say. But not good enough today, you would think. Todd Marshall, 5 goals, 5. We really need to kick on, or work on our goal kicking, I should say. Soldo and Scholl having a good contest in the ruck. Lots of tackles in this one. Ratkins and Moraes having a good little partnership in the middle of the ground. Radigalea having a good job at centre half back. Rioli getting a lot of the ball. Boak, not bad on his return. We're going to stick him forward in this last quarter. See if we can get a couple of snags for the old fella. Soldo knocks it down. Great kick forward. Or great hit forward, I should say. Rioli knocks it back into traffic. Not typically a fan of that usually, but hopefully it works out with a mark at centre half back for Radigalea. He does very, very nicely. He's been all over Edmonds today. Rioli with the loose ball inside half forward. Boak. I think that's a goal. He's done well. The old boy. Actually, no, it is Jed McKenty does well. I thought it was Travis Boak. They're about the same stature, actually, but didn't work out in the end to get Boak a goal. Hopefully we can get him 1 or 2 before the game's end. Soldo again with another mark at centre half forward. There's a big pocket of space right on Rioli's head. Can't take the mark. Ball over the top, possibly. Come on, kick a goal. There we go. Ollie Lord finally gets one for his troubles. 75-point lead. I'm not sure if the Travis Boak at full forward experiment is going to last, considering he is an older fella, not really known for his contested marking. I mean, the game is in hand. I'm just going to play around with it for a little bit. Soldo gets absolutely bodied in the ruck. Moraes with a fantastic tackle. We've got another stoppage. Great hands out of the middle by both teams. So far in this game, Boak takes a nice mark. 15 disposals on the game. I think he's missed this, unfortunately. Oh, God. Rioli's already kicked one from this pocket. We forced a turnover, and we're doing very, very well with this forward pressure. That kick is absolute perfection. He's got 5 for, I think, 2 weeks in a row, and he'll be looking for an AFL call-up in the near future. Willie Rioli once again lining up for another goal just based on Sturt's incompetence out of full back. There's another one. I'll see you at full time. Okay, Travis. I said we were going to see you at full time, but I just want to see Travis Boak get a goal. He's finally got one. Now I will see you at full time. Siren's gone for an 88-point victory. Sturt kicked the final goal of the game. We do very, very nicely. 7 goals to 3 in the final quarter. Absolute domination in this episode. Obviously, we are playing... It's a bit different in these SANFL episodes where the quality of our team is going to be a lot better than the SANFL teams just because we have AFL level players. Rioli, kick 6, Marshall 5, Lord, they were the only multiple goal kickers actually, which is quite funny. Lord 1, Watkins 1, McKenty 1, Soldo, Moraes, Cheeseman, Boak, anybody else down here? Charleston, Bowman, all kicked 1, Ratkins 27 disposals, Rioli 22, Radigalea 20, Moraes 20 as well. And unfortunately, no bonuses for today in that game. Unfortunately, we were never really going to get that close to that one. But our next game will be against... my next episode will be against St Kilda. It would just be the one game. No doubleheader for this one, unfortunately, because if we have a look at the calendar like we did at the start of the episode, we've got St Kilda, which will be its own, Hawthorn, which will be its own. The next doubleheader will be South Adelaide and then Sydney, in Sydney, funnily enough. So that is going to be a good run of things, I think. I'm looking forward to it. But thank you very much for watching up until this point, guys. I know it was a longer episode, but if you did enjoy it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And until then, I hope you have a lovely day, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys then. Bye!